Mech, everybody. This is Warhammer Sean. I'm going to do part 2 of Codex Adeptus Mechanicus. Cult Mechanicus. Not the Scutari. Alright, let's go over the units that we have for this Codex. The one and only HQ, but at least they have one. Not being bitter, but Scutari and Harlequins do not. Or actually, neither do Legion of the Damned. But so you can take a combined arms detachment with these guys or allied detachment. Inquisition, by the way, also cannot, because even though they have a HQ, they do not have troops. Anyway, Tech Priest Dominus is our HQ. He's 105 points. Weapon skill 4, ballistic skill 5. Strength and Toughness 4, Wounds 3, Initiative 3, Attacks 2, Leadership 9, 2+ save. Now, he's got a Scryer Skull, which, I don't know why they just didn't include this in the profile, but it increases his leadership by 1. So he's technically got a 10 leadership because of the Scryer Skull. That also gives him acute senses. Yeah. So if he were going to outflank, he could re-roll that. He's got Artificer Armor, Vulcate Blaster, a Macro Stubber, and a Power Axe, and a Mechanite Harness, Scryer Skull, and a Refractor Field, so he's got a 5-up invuln. He's got Canticles on Messiah, he's got Feel No Pain, he's an independent character, and he has Relentless. So the Mechanite Harness allows him to fire as many weapons as he wants anyway. And the Relentless allows him to fire even rapid-fire weapons and still assault. So, Master of Machines, in your shooting phase, instead of firing one of his weapons, controlling player's choice, a Tech Priest Dominus can choose either to repair a single friendly vehicle that he is in base contact with, or embarked upon, or restore a wound lost earlier in the battle. To do so, roll a d6. On a result of 2 or more, your attempt was successful. In repairing a vehicle, you may restore all hull point that the nominated vehicle lost early in the battle, or repair a weapon destroyed or immobilized result suffered earlier in the battle. This is effective immediately. If restoring a wound, either the Tech Priest Dominus or any other model with Scutari or Cult Mechanicus faction, and his unit regains a wound lost earlier in battle. This is effective immediately. I kind of like they put that in there. So because they're kind of machines, I like the idea of him being able to repair them or give him a wound back. But what I didn't want that to be abused by is putting him in a unit and putting him in like an Uber Killy unit or a Death Star unit that's full of other Imperium, like codexes, and having him repair wounds or fix wounds on everybody, kind of like a medic, which is not really what he is. So I'm glad they did that so that he can't just do that. He may replace his Vulcate Blaster with an Eradication Array for 15 points. He may replace his Macro Stubber for a Phosphor Serpentia for 5 points, and he may take items from Special Issue War Gear and Arcana Mechanicum lists. So it does specifically say in the Arcana Mechanica that a model can take one of the following. So they can only take one thing, they can't take multiple things. Some other codexes allow them to take more than one thing, because it says only one exists, so they can only take one per army, but it doesn't say they can't take more than one of them. So Special Issue War Gear, they can take digital weapons for 10 points and an Info Slave for 10 points. They can take... It replaces a refractor field with a conversion field for 5 points and a stasis field for 15 points. I don't personally think the stasis field is really worth it, because do you really want to just if you go to ground, you're not doing anything with your unit, or with at least him, and if he gets hit, he's going to get hurt. So maybe the conversion field for 5 points, but he may blind his unit. As far as replacing things, I like the Macro Stubber. You can replace it with a Phosphor Serpentia which is an 18-inch range, strength 5, AP 4, assault 1, Lumigen. I mean, it's one more strength and better AP for sure. I don't know. I might want to. I mean, if he has the macro stripper, he gets an extra close combat weapon because he's got the power axe. So I don't know. The Volcate Blaster, strength 6, AP 5, heavy 3, deflagrate. That's the one where you can get additional hits if you do wounds. Otherwise, you can replace that with a with the eradication array, which is the 0 to 12 inch range, strength 8, AP 1, heavy 1, or range 12 to 24 is strength 6, AP 3, heavy 1 blast. You know, honestly, I'd probably just keep the Volcate Blaster. Honestly, I probably wouldn't upgrade either one of those things. Maybe I would take digital weapons because you get to reroll a wound. And the Info Slave, it's amazing, I've already forgotten what the heck that does. Let's see. Oh, sorry. I apologize earlier. The Scryer Skull allows you to choose to identify a single mysterious objective anywhere on the battlefield. I apologize. The start of each of your turns. The Info Slave is what increases leadership by 1 and gains acute senses. So the Info Skull is 10 points, which might be worth it to make him leadership 10. It sucks that you have to pay that tax, but if you're point pinching, you probably won't. But if you're not, it might be worth the extra leadership because he's not fearless. The digital weapons may be worth it. The conversions field, I can see that one almost always being taken for 5 points. But potentially, depending on where you're going to use them, you might not need it. So that's the Tech Priest Dominus. That's the HQ. Now let's go into the troops. For 150 points, you can grab the Cataphron Breachers. These come with 3 of them, and their weapon skill is skill 3, strength and toughness 5, which is awesome, 2 wounds each, and initiative 3, attacks 1, and leadership 8. And they have a 3+ armor save. They come with a heavy arc rifle and an arc claw, which the arc claw is +1 to strength, and AP 5 haywire. And that's not bad because you're already strength 5, so it's going to be strength 6. That's pretty good. And it's haywire. They've only got 1 attack, so they're not really meant to be close combat-y, but they can do some. You can replace their arc claw for the hydraulic claw for 10 points. I mean, that's +2 strength, and then the iron grasp thing. I mean, they've only got 1 attack anyway. I guess it does. I don't know, 10 points for a power claw. I guess. I mean, I don't know. Maybe. I think just a little expensive. The heavy arc rifle. And it says any model, so you don't have to replace all of them. Some of them can. The heavy arc rifle is strength 6, AP 5, 2-shot haywire. It's heavy too, but these guys they can't make run moves, but they can fire up to 2 weapons in each shooting phase, and they can fire heavy or salvo weapons as if they're stationary. So these guys can do that, and they can charge the same time they fire rapid fire heavy salvo weapons. They can get more Cataphron Breachers for 50 points each. And the model can replace this heavy arc rifle with a torsion cannon for free. Now, the torsion cannon is strength 8 AP 1 contortion. That's the one where instead of they take an unsaved wound, it loses D3 wounds, and if it gets a penetrating hit, it's a D3 hull points instead. I personally, for free, I would be putting that on there, to be honest with you. I mean, the heavy arc rifles are okay, but I mean, they're 2-shot haywire. But excuse me, I like the torsion cannon a lot. Now, there's nothing wrong with the arc rifle for haywire shots, and it's strength 6, so it's still good, and it's 2 shots each. I kind of like, I kind of like the torsion cannon, to be honest with you. I'd probably use that most of the time. The next squad is the Cataphron Destroyers. These guys have weapon skill 3, strength and toughness 5, wounds 2, initiative 3, attacks 1, leadership 8, 4+ save instead of 3+ save. They have the same rules. They're heavy battle servitors, so they basically cannot run, but they can fire 2 weapons in the shooting phase and still assault, even if they fire rapid fire, heavy, or salvo weapons. They come with a plasma culverin and a phosphor blaster. The plasma culverin is a heavy 2, blast, strength 7, AP 2, gets hot. The phosphor blaster is 24-inch, strength 5, AP 4, rapid fire. You can take up to 9 additional Cataphront destroyers, and they're 55 points each. They come with 3, so basically you have a total of 12, just like the Cataphront breachers. They can replace their phosphor blaster with a Cognis flamer for 5 points a model, which is good, and it's cheap. The problem I have with that one is I'd rather actually see the Cognis flamer on the Cataphront breachers, because I see them actually potentially getting closer to things. I see these guys wanting to stay back a little bit farther, so I don't see using the flamers as much, to be honest with you. You can take the plasma culverin, which is a good weapon by itself. It's 2 shots heavy, gets hot though, and with a heavy grav cannon, you can switch it to a heavy grav cannon for free. Heavy grav cannons are nice, and I mean, 6-shot, 30-inch range. Yeah, I mean that's good. I mean, yeah, they're hitting on 4s, but it's still a really good weapon. So I mean, it's free upgrade, so I'd probably be doing that. All right, and they are very bulky, just like the breachers. And they do have the Canicles on the side, just like everybody else in this book. Now we move on to the elite section. We have the Fulgurite Electro Priests, and then we also have the Corpusculi Electro Priests. Now the Fulgurite ones are 90 points, and you can get additional models for 18 points, just the same price as the other guys. Their stats are weapon skill 4, both skill 3, strength and toughness 3, wounds 1, initiative 3, attacks 2, leadership 9. They have the same stats as the Corpusculi Electro Priests. Now, let's see. The Fulgurite ones have an Leech Stave, which if you roll a 6, it does instant death. +2 strength, AP 4, and they have a Vulgus Feel, which is the 5+ invuln, and then they ignore the initiative effects through danger or for difficult terrain, and they do a strength 4 Hammer of Wrath. They have the Canicles of Messiah, they have Feel No Pain, and they have Zealot. Zealot's very powerful because it's basically like Hatred. And Fearless, the first, so Hatred, the first phase of the close combat attacks, and they're Fearless, basically. Both of the Electro Priests have those rules. The main difference is the electrostatic gauntlets that the Corpusculi Priests have, and the gauntlets have a ranged weapon, and they have close combat effects, and let's see. The gauntlets are basically 12-inch range, strength 4 AP dash, assault 2, twin-linked shooting attacks, and then +1 strength and AP dash for melee. So it's not as strong in melee. There's no AP in the melee, but it's basically giving you a shooting attack too. And it does not have instant death rules. Honestly, if you're going to ally stuff in, which most likely with this Cult Mechanicus you're going to, I honestly see the Scutari elites doing a better job in close combat than these Electro Priests. So I honestly don't see them being that good and being that useful in close combat. They don't have a save at all. They're just relying on their 5-up invuln, which is like Harlequins, and they're only toughness 3, so they're easy enough to kill. They do have Feel No Pain, but strength 6 and more just ignores that. So I don't know. I just don't see the use in these guys very much. And they're not that fast. I mean, honestly, I think the Skitarii guys are going to move a lot faster and do more, have more of a punch too, depending on how you kit them out. The heavy choice is a Castellan Robot Maniple, and that is 290 points, and that comes with 2 Castellan Robots and then 1 Cybernetica Datasmith. And the Castellan Robots are Weapon Skill, Bullet Skill 3, Strength 6, Toughness 7, and then 3 Wounds, and then Initiative 2, Attacks 2, Leadership 7, and 3+ Save. And then the Cybernetica Datasmith is Weapon Skill 3, Bullet Skill 4, Strength 4, Toughness 4, Wounds 2, Initiative 3, Attacks 2, Leadership 9, and 2+ Save. So the Cybernetica Datasmith has an Artificer Armor, Gamma Pistol, Data Spike, Power Fist, and Refractor Field. So he's got a pistol and a Power Fist is specialist weapon, so he's not going to get a bonus for 2 close combat weapons. So he's going to only have 2 attacks. But here's the cool thing: is as long as there's 1 robot alive, that Datasmith is benefiting from a overall toughness of the unit is 7, so he's going to be really hard to kill. And he's got a Power Fist and a Refractor Field. The Castellan Robots are really tough. They have a Carpus-mounted Incending Combustor. That's the let me just check, but I'm pretty sure that's a Torrent weapon. I don't want to tell you wrong here, so let me. Yeah, that's a Strength 4, AP 5, Assault 1 Torrent, which is pretty good. They also have 2 Power Fists. So not only, they don't really have just 2 attacks. They have the 2 base, but they also have +1 for 2 Power Fists. So they have 3 attacks, 4 on the charge, which is pretty amazing. They have Canticles of Omnissiah, and they're fearless. The Cybernetica Datasmith has Feel No Pain and Canticles of Omnissiah. Now, these robots have battle protocols, and you select it at the end of your turn, and it doesn't go into effect until your next turn, and so the old one's active until then. There's 3 protocols. The Conqueror protocol: all Castellan robots unit double their attack characteristics but cannot make shooting attacks of any kind. That's pretty amazing. So that's 4 base attacks plus the extra close combat weapon, which is 5, 6 on the charge. That's going to kill a lot of stuff, especially with strength. 2 Power Fists, so strength 10, even though their base strength is 6. It doesn't really matter because they're basically Power Fists. They have Aegis protocol. All Castellan robots in the unit have Feel No Pain special rule. Well, at toughness 7, there's not going to much double them out. I mean, instant death weapons and they're monstrous creatures, so instant death weapons and destroyer weapons are the only thing they're going to deny Feel No Pain. Protector protocol: all Castellan robots in the unit can fire their Carpus-mounted weapons twice, but cannot move under any circumstances. So they can basically fire the Combustor twice. That one's okay. Now, you can take up to 2 additional Datasmiths for 50 points each. I wouldn't go too heavy on this. If you only have the 2 robots, you certainly don't want to have 3 Datasmiths, because then your overall toughness is going to be 4, which isn't good. You can include up to 4 additional robots. So you can have basically 6 robots and 3 Datasmiths, so you can have a 9-man unit. The robots are 120 points each. So they're kind of pricey, but they're pretty good. The Castellan robot may replace both Power Fists with a twin-linked heavy Phosphor Blaster. Let's see. So that's Strength 6, AP 3, Heavy 3, Lumigen, 36-inch range. So it could have twin-linked Strength 6, AP 3, and if you do the Protector protocol, that's basically 6 shots each robot. So that's a lot of shots that are AP 3. Sorry, I apologize, I'm wrong on that, because it gets to fire its Carpus-mounted weapon twice, and not those Phosphor Blasters. Those replace the Power Fists. I apologize. The Carpus-mounted Combustor can be replaced with a carapace mounted heavy phosphor blaster for 5 points. And so that one isn't twin linked, but is a 3-shot. So potentially you could actually, do get 6 shots out of it if you do the Protector Protocol. But once again, that's not twin linked, and they're weapon skill 3, so they're hitting on 4s. And so they're going to miss. They have 6 shots. They're probably going to hit with 3 of them. But it's better than 1.5 shots hitting. It is strength 6 AP3. So that may be worth replacing a carapace-mounted weapon. Instead of a flamer, have the heavy phosphor blaster. I don't know about getting rid of the power fists because, I guess if you just want shooty, but it's kind of expensive and heavy to be shooty. I think you really want these guys close in, potentially getting in battle or, in a place where they may be assaulted, because they're going to be good at it, honestly. I like this unit. I think it's expensive, but I think it's good. All right. So let's see. I guess I will stop here, and we'll go on to the formations and final thoughts in the next video. Hopefully you're enjoying these. If you do, please subscribe and like my Facebook page. If you have any questions, you can leave them down below, or email me at wargamershawn@yahoo.com. Until next time, keep on wargaming.
Goodbye. 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 Bye-bye. Goodbye. See ya. Bye for now. Bye for now. Goodbye. I like bottoms.